morning. Because the wind, it's still whipping again. But out here, right here, you can, right in that section. Let's see if I can. Let's see if I. Well, it's not that windy, but right here. Yeah, it is windy. So, but right in here, and this between here and about here and back, this is where my garlic is planted. And I've seen some sprouts, and it's, I don't know, see, this is them, this is the garlic. So they did come up. I don't know how that's going to work out, but there's a ton of, I'm trying to keep the wind off the camera. Now you can see that they did come up. I don't know. Let's get towards the barn. Oh, I heard that. That wind. I'm going to get in the barn here. Alright. Turn the barn. Now, I did not think they would grow, but they do come up. All right, turn the lights on. So they do come up. So now we've still got at least, at the very least, 2 months of winter, at least. So I don't know how that's going to work out. I really didn't think they would come up at all, but maybe they're supposed to a little bit. They were covered well. I don't know how it's going to work out, honestly. If they don't, I planted them late August. I remember that. Like I said in the beginning, right when I planted them, it was, we were expecting cold weather, but I planted them and it was fairly warm. Covered them all up with hay and leaves. I don't even know, probably 3-4 inches thick. Figured that would be good. I don't know. Maybe they're supposed to do that. I got to read up on it, but it's kind of like, I'm thinking, oh, I hope they don't die. Now, so we'll see. Now I've got this thing going on. I'm going to be talking with our friends at Jazelle Farms, because his came up and he didn't even cover them. So this is kind of interesting. I want to see how oh God, I was thinking, I'm looking at them, I'm like, there's some seedlings coming up. So it's pretty strange to me. I thought they'd just be dormant underneath the ground until spring came, but no. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to keep you guys updated on that. And the tractor. It is Wednesday today. The last day of January, right? I think. I talked to the CNY this morning, and they said that in the front end there are rings. They're actually, it's not the bracket itself, but the rings on the cylinder that pushes the tie rods, that hydraulic cylinder, and they're wore out, and they're replacing them. They had to order them. He said they do get wore. Obviously the more you use your tractor, and I use mine heavily, as everybody knows, It's in a warranty issue right now. Obviously, after the 5th year, it's my expense. But they get wore, he says, so they're replacing them. So the tractor won't be here till Friday. That's what they're saying now. It is Wednesday. He said they ordered the parts, and they're actually buttoning up the cab right now. As you know, this morning he said that their mechanic was working on that. Ordered the parts, has the front end apart. So it's Friday, but that's okay. Well, this is a little different, but the lone backhoe. Anyway, this is different. I was going to see how many of you guys, right? Looks like I got jeans on and all, right? Got the jeans on. And you got your boots. By the way, these are just pull-on boots. See? But man, they're insulated and, they're warm. Oh, keep your feet warm. But, on top of that, looks like I got jeans on. They're not. They're bib overalls. See? And I was wondering if anybody else would wear a pair of bib overalls. I was at the store when we were shopping for some clothes, and I thought, you know what? These things look really. I mean, the only other guy my son had a pair once, and another guy a long time when I was a kid. He was a grandpa then. He wasn't my grandpa, but he wore bib overalls, and I don't really see too many people wearing them, other than like a Carhartt pair, but not on the farm, just in general. In general, that's what it is. But these things, man, they keep you warm. I mean, they come all the way up here. You got a lot of pockets. The jean ones I know. That's why I wanted them, because you look like you got jeans on if you're just out in public. But in the summertime, with a t-shirt, would you wear bib overalls like these? Other than, you're out there working, in your... I guess it's the same thing, really, because they are work. But would you just go out in public, like you're going to the store after you got done work? Somebody told me, he says, man, you look like a grandpa. Well, first of all, I am a grandpa. I have 4 grandchildren. Proud of it. One of my grandson lives down in Slidell, Louisiana, and 3 live here, in the southern tier of New York. I live in the Finger Lakes, upstate more, and they live in the southern tier, down by the Binghamton, New York area. 3 granddaughters. I don't know. I'm just talking again, but just wondering. I don't think it's a big craze. Obviously, it's not a craze, because I don't hardly ever see anybody just wearing jean bib overalls out in public really that much. Maybe I have just never noticed it. Maybe so. But would you wear them? All right, just a thought. So I did my homework already about the garlic. It's not that unusual that they sprout. You plant them in the fall, and what they do is they get a good root system going during the dormant season, and they're actually not dormant even in the winter, but they grow down. They grow in the ground, and if you see sprouts, that actually means that they're doing well. And so if you see sprouts, in the very cold climates here, like here in New York, it's okay. They said that once the really cold winter or weather hits, the leaves, the sprouts, they stop growing, but they won't die. They just stop growing, and the root system keeps growing under the ground. You get a really good root system. That's what they're doing. And then in spring, they'll just start leaving again, and they'll grow. So it's not unusual to have that happen. Even if you plant them, they're saying, you know, and it's cold, and you plant them, you know, and if they will start growing underground. But they actually did say that it's better to plant them when the ground is a little bit warm still from the summer months, which I did, and then it gets cold, so they start growing, and they're never dormant. They said they're never dormant. Only the sprout that comes above the ground will stop growing when it gets cold. So if you see a sprout, it'll be okay. So that's good news. But I'm still worried a little, even though I read that from Cornell University. I'm still a little worried, even though Cornell is not very far from here. They're in this climate with me, so they're a very good agriculture college here, Cornell. So I'm not too worried, but seeing plants growing when it's 0, it's a little scary to me. But they said it's not unusual. So anyway, I did my homework. We'll see how they actually come out in the spring. And there's quite a few. I was shocked. I did not expect that, to see sprouts, but there they are. Anyway, just an update on the garlic. What I was going to say was that quick attach. I watched the guy. He bought a GC 1705 tractor. He bought the tractor. I guess I don't know if he ordered it that way or it just comes that way. But he bought the quick attach bucket. I tell you what, I like it. That's on the bucket list. No pun intended with the buckets. But yeah, it is. It's just nice. You can take that off quickly, leave your arms on, or whatever you got to do. You can have other attachments for it. I like it. I'm all for that stuff. And as far as the front end goes, what I wanted to add to this is, you say, well, this tractor, this has a problem. If you watch videos like I do, I wish I knew his name, but he lives up in Canada, and he had an arm break on his 3-point hitch. It's faulty, metal. It can happen to any tractor, anything. I watch a guy I used to watch. He doesn't do much anymore because they told him he can't film in the cemetery. But he has a John Deere, and you look at his stuff and what he was doing to the tractor. I mean, everything was wore out, and he just just repaired it or gets new parts. It's every tractor, any make, model, it can happen. And these rings, they said it just that one happened to be. The other side is fine. It's pretty tight, but I think they're doing both sides. But the other side, it's just the metal probably was just happens. You get a piece of machinery. Somebody's piece of machinery works flawlessly forever, it seems like, and somebody else's broke down in this piece, because it just happens. Your cars, anything. So it's not the fault of the Massey Ferguson. I think overall that tractor is really, really a nice tractor, and I'm happy the dealer is taking care of it. I'll keep an eye on it, see how it functions after they put the new rings in there. I'm hoping it lasts. But things can happen, you know. They build these tractors, and there's guys that tell me, you know, their bolts have come loose, and you know, it just, mine never have on the sides of the tractor where the frame for the loader goes in. It's never, but some say they have. So it's just in what you get, and as long as your dealer works with you, you're okay. Anyway, I just wanted to say that because I don't want people thinking I'm very unhappy. I'm not. It's a good machine. Just keep an eye on those rings that are in where the cylinder goes in. If you see your front tires moving a little bit, so side to side, that means those rings are wearing. Just keep an eye on that. That's all. You can raise your tractor up. If you don't have a front end loader, you can actually still take your front, you know, just grab the front tire and move them, and watch those rings. And if they move a lot, they're wearing out. Just get them replaced at your dealer. Anyway, I want to tell you all again, I appreciate everybody's watching my videos. Sometimes in the winter, like it is now, it's cold, and you know, especially on a farm, you know, there's a lot of routineness because, you know, your animals are indoors, and you know, you basically feeding them, getting feed, cleaning manure. So there's, you know, you can't always say, man, this is going to happen today. In the spring, in the summer, in the fall, that's when things get going really hardcore. And we're going to be doing a lot of work. A lot of work. It's not just the field work, not just plants, not just the goats, but everything revolves around all that, because the barn, we're going to do a lot of work on this barn here. This old barn. A lot of work's going to get done on it. We've got to build crates for the potatoes. New machines are coming. We have to rebuild the potato graders. They're old. Wait till you see these potato graders. They're like, they were built way back. You know, they were built hand crank ones. You know, but we bought two of them, and we're gonna take one that's the better one, and then we're gonna take the other one that has all, and we're gonna use parts from it, and we're gonna actually get an electric motor, and we're gonna hook that electric motor up to it so that you don't have to crank it. You just run the motor. It'll go very slow, so you can just put your potato bag by where the potatoes are coming out in different areas. There's the small, and then there's medium, and then the large, and they grade those potatoes, so when you're running it, it'll just run by itself. You can dump a bushel of potatoes in at a time, bag them up at you know, like that, so that they're graded. But they're definitely they are old-fashioned. I cannot wait to see how they work when we get it going again, because I've never seen one operate. I've seen the new ones. There's the guy I bought potatoes from, my seed potatoes. He has a more modern one. He dumps a whole bin in there, probably 2,000 or 3,000 pounds of potatoes at a time. And maybe not that much. Maybe 1,000 pounds. And it grades them, but it's no different. It's the same thing. They come out, the smaller ones just get out, medium, and the large ones come out the end, just like these old ones. It's just not as big and modern looking. It's going to be awesome. Awesome. Then we're going to come up with a way to wash the potatoes better than I'm doing with a bucket, you know, in the back of the barn. We're going to be doing that across the road over there. I know you can't see right now because of this barn, but there's a Morton building over there, and we're going to develop a system where we can wash them easily, that kind of thing. So all these things are going to take place. You know, so we have a lot going on. Just right now, you know, winter, it's just like the plants, you know, we're kind of dormant. You can't get anything done. You know, little things you can do, but not big projects. So, anyway, thank you again for watching my videos. I appreciate it, all of you. I really do. I appreciate all of you very much. It's since the day I thought I wasn't going to do it because of Google and YouTube, I just have a renewed feeling about things, and I want to continue and film and show what I do. And that's just it. And I appreciate you all watching. I really do. Thank you. All right, catch up with me.